to draw what the perp looked like.
Yes. Kind of obscured face. So that's mostly there's not that much helpful there. The body.
kind of body shaped. Oh, he's tall.
He's very tall.
Long body.
I would easily.
Oh, my feet aren't even on the same level as him.
No. Also, pretty tall legs.
Okay, mostly legs. Welcome, travelers, to City of Town, an improvised D&D adventure. I'm Michael.
And I'm Casey. Now, Michael, what exactly is an improvised D&D adventure?
That's a very astute question you've just inquired about there, Casey. An improvised Dungeons & Dragons adventure is an adventure that Casey and I are going to go on the spot. No prep work, no character sheets, just infinite amounts of dragon slaying and infinite amounts of D&D improv fun.
That's right. Now, every episode is around 60 minutes, and you do not have to have seen every other adventure that came before, because every episode is completely standalone. So, whether you've been playing since Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, or you are completely new to it, this is the perfect opportunity to learn more about the game you love, and about how to roleplay.
You also do not have to have read all the D&D rulebooks, because we loosely base everything off D&D 5e, but we never stress about following the rules. We never go and check Xanathar's guide to everything. I always forget the name of this one.
You're doing great.
Or Volo's Guide to Monsters.
That's exactly it. The Monster Manual. The Dungeon Master's Guide.
There's a lot of books.
Get rid of that player's handbook.
And they're all changing now. We make up spells. We make up feats. We butcher the backstories of species and characters. We're just all about fun. We're all about D&D. We're all about improv. And we're all about friendship.
That's right, because it's the friends you make along the way, as well as the dice, because we use 2 dice here over at City of Town. We use the D20 and the D6. We use the D20 for all attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks. We use the D6 for everything else we come up with along the way. You'll know it when you see it. You'll see it when you know it.
And you also may have seen that there are 2 humans in this podcast.
Which
means we need 1 dungeon master and at least 1 player. So, since there's 2 of us, that means that one of us will be the player and the other one will be the player. Oh, wait, that sounds wrong.
That is wrong, Michael.
Oh, the other one will be the player.
God, you were so close.
Oh, wait, hold on. What am I forgetting about?
Come on, you got this.
It's, the dungeon master.
There we go. So
one of us will be the dungeon master and the other one will be the player. This week, the dungeon master will be Casey Dunn.
That's right, folks. I'm going to be your dungeon master, which means that Michael is going to be our epic, adventurous player. Michael, are you so ready to go on an epic adventure?
I couldn't possibly be more ready.
Dude, dang right, because
I've been preparing all day for this.
Good. You stretched it out?
How improv works.
You've roll your neck really quick. I want to make sure you know you don't.
Oh God, it's cracking and creaking. It hurts.
That's painful. Right. If you're not, what I've always said is, if you're not creaking and cracking your neck, you're doing it all wrong.
Nope. Yep.
What's the point of life?
Just in general? Is it everything in life?
We don't have time for that today. We only have 60 minutes and the clock is starting now because our adventure begins, as all great adventures do, with you kneeling over the top of a deceased body. There is, in fact, a young half-orc who is circling the body with chalk, outlining where the murder has taken place. You, the detective, hard-boiled, years on the job, maybe, I don't know, it's your character, you can decide that part. But you're taking in this body. What are you looking for?
Well, first of all, I'm quite concerned about the fact that somebody's killed my estranged son that I had with my mistress that no one knew about.
That's right. And you even see upon the wall, written in blood, it says, "Daddy knows best," with a question mark.
Oh.
It seems as though this murder is in fact directed at you.
I turned to... Oh, God. I turned to my partner Hilda, and I say, "This is a weird one, Hilda."
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, there was the time, when there was that person who had become obsessed with you and they tried to kill all of your family members, but we caught him.
Hilda, don't talk. No one knows this is my son besides you.
Are you serious?
Don't say it out loud. I didn't tell anyone else. It's a secret.
Okay, I just thought that it was like pretty...
What about secret estranged son? Did you not understand, Hilda?
I guess I was a little confused because there are photos around of him and what's clearly a cutout of you within the news that he is glued onto the photo as though you're together.
Yeah, but people might just think he's a stalker.
Okay.
So we don't need people knowing the truth. I'd rather they think he's a stalker than that I have an estranged son that I disowned.
I'm sorry.
With a mistress.
Okay, I get it.
I have 7 other children with my wife.
I get it. I won't bring it up again.
Okay.
Really quickly, what is your detective's name?
My detective's name is Boyle Son.
Yep. Boyle and then the last name Son, right?
Yep, Boyle Son. Boyle Son.
Okay, Detective Son.
Son.
I understand. I won't bring it up again. I did notice a few things that I think you should look at, though.
All right, Hilda, walk me through the case.
Yeah, so, well...
Also, hey, uniform, bring me my coffee.
Right away, sir. Chip Chip. His name's actually Chip Chip. He just says it at the end of all sentences.
Yep. That's Chip Chip.
That's Chip Chip. Chip Chip's been here for a long time.
Hey, say one thing about Chip Chip. That man can keep a secret.
Chip Chip. Chip Chip has brought you the coffee.
Thanks, Chip Chip. And I take a sip. All right. Show me what we got to know.
All right. Well, it seems as though there was forced entry at the front door, and then there was some type of skerfuffle, fight, call it what you will. We can definitely see that...
How'd my son do in the fight? Does it look like he put up a good fight?
It seems as though he tried to hold his own, but he probably would have done better if he had any type of fighting lessons or anything.
Like if he had some sort of father figure in his life?
Yeah. Unfortunately, he was just a failed bard, is what we're picking up. So he had very little protection.
Who knows if it's because I disowned him or I disowned him because I saw this is what he was going to become, but who can say?
As she continues to lead you through the crime scene, there was a fight. It looks as though your son, his head smashed against the side of an end table, and that's where the bludgeoning in the back of his head, where he started to lose blood and profusely and start to go unconscious, and then was strangled in the location that you have found him.
Well, now time for the truly unpleasant part of the day. Gotta go talk to his mother. My mistress. My secret mistress.
Now, you can totally go do that. She's crying in the hallway. Do you want to look around the crime scene anymore before you do that?
I can always come back.
Yeah, you can.
I'll go talk to her and I'll come back.
So you walk out into the hallway and you see her. She's smoking a cigar. She is... Let's see. She is...
We still haven't erased this. She's a tiefling.
She's a tiefling. As she is smoking the cigar, and then it's just at the bud, so she throws it away, quickly pulls out another cigar, lights it with her finger as she starts smoking again.
Hey, Chip Chip.
She is just has tears going down her face.
Hey, Chip Chip, clear the hallway for me, will you?
Chip Chip. Everybody move. Chip Chip. Chip Chip.
And once everyone's gone, I'll turn to her and go, Sarianne, I'm sorry about what happened to your boy.
It's okay. I knew he wasn't strong enough for this world. I always tried to raise him stronger. Why? You could have protected him. You could have saved him. I know you could have, but you turned your back on him. I understood why we couldn't. But you did not have to turn your back on your son.
Look, we could hash out the past, or we can solve his murder. What do you want to do? I'd rather solve his murder. Put the scumbag who did this behind bars. You willing to do that with me? Put this past aside?
Fine.
Or are we going to rehash old fights?
Fine. What do you need to know?
Did he have any enemies? Did he get any trouble recently?
Yeah, he had enemies. There was a group. They called themselves the Wolf Clan.
The Wolf Clan, I've heard of them. Bad characters to get involved with.
Yeah, apparently they sell magical items on the black market. I told him to stay away from them, but... well, he was trying to make a life for himself. He was trying to support me. Please tell me you're gonna find who did this.
You know it. I may always have been a bad father. Even to the kids that I haven't disowned. But I'm a great detective.
There might be one other thing that is helpful.
What's that? Anything you can give me.
Well,
it's gonna be good.
last night we have dinner together, and I was about to leave when I noticed somebody standing down the hallway. I couldn't get a good look at them, but they were peering around the corner, and when we made eye contact, they quickly looked away.
What'd they look like?
Well,
And I flip open my notebook.
it's hard to say exactly. They were wearing something to obscure their face, but I did notice...
Here, I'm going to hand her my notebook. Do your best to draw what the perp looked like.
Yes. Well, I'm quite the artist, so... Again, kind of obscured face, so... That's mostly there's not that much helpful there.
Okay, that makes sense.
The body...
Oh, kind of body shaped.
Guy, long body, tall.
About how tall? My height, tall or shorter?
Okay.
I'm tall. I'm like 6 feet tall.
So, if that's you,
Oh, he's tall.
he's very tall.
Long body.
I would easily.
Oh, my feet aren't even on the same level as him.
No. Also, I know it was again kind of obscure, but I did notice mostly legs. Pretty tall legs.
Okay, mostly legs. Okay, tall, mostly legs.
Mostly legs.
Hey, Hilda, get out of here. You need to see this.
She walks out and she sees this image. She goes, "My God, what?"
Yeah,
what?
she's giving me. She saw this. She saw this perp in the hallway last night, right around the time of the murder.
Let's see. You go ahead and do a knowledge.
Knowledge legs check.
No, not a knowledge like check. No, I'm trying to think of like because you're a detective, so I'm like.
Investigation?
Yeah, go ahead and roll investigation.
Knowledge street smarts?
Yeah, kind of. That's what I was trying to go for.
That's a 15 plus 7. 22.
This is somebody you recognize.
It's legs.
That's kind of their nickname is Legs.
Yeah.
They are not somebody to be trifled with. They are this ghoulish human who has like scars all over their face and body, and like sunken in eyes. Their skin is bluish texture as though they've been a corpse for years. This is
that explains the shrouded face.
This is the
Dark blue face.
muscle of the Wolf clan. He is serves directly underneath Vladimir the Wolf.
If Ricky was involved with the Wolf clan and ended up dead, chances are Legs is the one who did it.
Yeah.
We find Legs, we find the murderer. Oh, good. You labeled it. Thanks, Sarianne.
Yeah.
That definitely added the
Of course.
Now.
You know what? Here, I'll just help people out. So we've got Legs. We've got the Wolf.
The Wolf?
Vladimir the Wolf.
Oh, Vladimir the Wolf. Got it.
The Wolf. All right.
Vladimir the Wolf.
Yeah, and he's like...
He's
like a ghost.
Torso.
Oh my god. Woo! I was feeling real high after drawing Legs.
You shouldn't have. You should not have felt high about anything. Okay, well, so I turn to Hilda. I go, Hilda,
Yeah.
if we need to figure out where the Wolf clan's hiding out at, I think we know who we need to go talk to.
As we're going to cut to you standing outside of this classic Gothic architecture building, the rain coming down on both of you, you holding a newspaper over your head to block out the rain as you step into...
Hold on real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I turn to Hilda. I go, Hilda, we both know Marty's a slippery character. You should go around back. Make sure if he makes a break for it, you're ready.
Okay. But remember, you send message if anything looks out of place.
Absolutely. Got my scroll right here, and I pat my long trench coat pocket.
As Hilda is going to go around the side of the building. As you walk in, the door creaks open. This place, it's worn down. There are holes in the ceiling as rain drips into it. This place is abandoned, but you do know that it's a holdout where Marty lives and occupies. Marty, somebody who's not somebody who most detectives feel comfortable working with, but is somebody who you've utilized for information and intel on a regular basis.
Yeah, he's very much so in the black market magical items scene. Small player, but definitely has high aspirations.
Yeah, as you walk in and you immediately hear, I thought I told you to always take the back entrance. Hide in the shadows, not give away those who help you.
Marty, I'm not in the mood today for subterfuge or whatever the heck you call what you do. I'm here for straight information.
You see that what looked like just shadows in one of the corners disappears, and Marty is standing there. He had dissipating his minor illusion as he walks forward, a crook in one of his sides. This seems like it's a new injury. As he says, well, you're already here. You want some ale?
Sure, I'll take some ale.
Well, too bad. I don't have any. I just got robbed. Not that you would care. You only care for those who, are close to you?
No, those who don't ruin society by being criminals, Marty. That's who I care about.
Yes.
And
I'm
also
sure.
people who aren't my sons, too.
Whatever. What do you want?
I want information about the Wolf clan. I'm looking for Legs.
You sure you want this information?
You know, I'd rather not be involved, but they made me involved when they killed my estranged secret son, who I disowned on the day of his birth.
Okay. Just know that I warned you.
Yeah, Marty, get out with it. Before I bring you in for a contraband, and I'm gonna, kick over a barrel nearby and
Little
Really hope
magical, no, literal magical oddities fall out of it. Not many. You know that he normally has quite a bit, but it seems as though recently his setup has been plundered, and so there's only like 5 or 6 little items that fall out. Well, come into the back room. I can show you what notes I've taken on the Wolf clan.
And I point towards the back room and go, after you.
As you both walk in, Hilda is sitting on the bar, like, well, I guess Marty wasn't as spry or slippery this time.
Yeah, that's some pretty weird behavior for him, honestly. I look at him curious.
Be careful. Word on the street is Marty's been moving and acting a little more strange than normal.
What's this guy up to?
Yes, so as you can see, and he's pulling out a big tome book as he scrapes through it, and you can see that he has information on all of the different comings and goings of the different organizations and entities that run this town, as he falls upon the wolf skin, as he...
This is quite the tome here you got, Marty.
Back
You
away.
were such a librarian.
One who lives long enough in this town must be smart enough. As he points, this is where you'll find them. The wolf skin. Is it wolf skin or wolf head?
It's Wolf Clan.
Wolf clan. The wolf clan. This is where you'll find them.
Do I recognize that area?
Yeah, it's actually a place known as the Depths. It's a pretty rough area of town. There has been a lot of building up communities and locking in sort of eternal poverty, and this is one of the areas that's been hit the hardest. And so...
going down to the depths. That doesn't sound like a fun Thursday night, does it, Hilda?
No. I remember that's where you lost your last partner. You sure you're going to be okay going there?
I turned my face, shrouded in shadow for a moment so no one can see my emotions. I choked down my feelings about Trent. I turn back to Hilda and I go, we got to do what we got to do.
Well, make any last calls to family members you got.
You know who else we need to make a call to? Chip. We're bringing Chip.
Man, he is the best shot.
Yeah, we do need backup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's an expert gunslinger.
Oh yeah.
As you're about to head out, and
Hey Marty, or should I say Smarty?
Yes.
Thanks for the info.
Well, as I said before, don't be so sure that it's good for you in the end. There was one more thing, Detective. Now, I can't be positive about this, but I have heard a lot of rumors that a big deal is going down tonight.
In the depths or somewhere else?
From what I can understand, it's something that's going to have cataclysmic repercussions. And I think it might be going down in the depths. So mind yourself.
Do you think it's related, or do you think it's just sort of a distraction from what I'm trying to do? What's your feeling?
Well, if you were to ask me, I think everything is related.
There's Smarty. I see it.
So we're going to be heading towards the depths.
We got to get the rappelling gear if we're going to the depths.
Yep. It's certainly the most non-suspect way that you can get into the depths,
Yeah.
Which is literally a hole within the east side of town. People have lost to time exactly what caused this great depth within the city, but, you know...
Boy, did it open up some cheap real estate.
Yeah. Exactly. As are you gonna get anything else before you head down there?
I think. Do I get anything else before we head down there? I do get a hot dog and a coffee, just to make sure I'm all fueled up.
Mm-hmm.
Chip brings the rappelling gear and his crossbow. I think we're good.
All
I
right.
think we're ready to go.
You are on your way to the depths when you get a message. It's from... Oh, what was the name of your wife? Or not your wife. Sarianne.
My mistress.
Yeah. You get a message from your mistress, Sarianne, that says, "Listen, I was just gathering some of our son's things, and I saw a letter. It's addressed to you. I'm going to send it your way. I didn't think it would be responsible to open it myself."
Is it going to get here before we have to head down? I'm asking that more just like knowing how people send things in this world.
Oh, yes. Yeah. As you feel in your pocket,
Okay.
yeah, a piece of paper, as you can open it whenever you want.
Hey, Hilda, you and Chip give me a second. I need to do something. And I walk into the shadows. Pull a cigarette in my mouth, put on the lighter, light it, and then hold the lighter up while I open up the letter so I can read it in the shadows.
You open it and you see little tear stains on some of the lettering. The
What a wimp.
writing is really looks like chicken scratch almost, because it looks like they wrote it in a hurry. And this is, "Dear Dad, I know why you kept your distance from me all of these years. And I know that I wasn't the son that you wanted, but I was your son. And I hope you know that no matter what we had in the past, I love you. And I regret what I'm about to do." And that's the end of the letter.
What did he do? And I think quite a bit of time passes without me even realizing it as I soak this letter in.
"Hey," as Hilda calls out to you. "You
Hey,
okay?
I scrunch up the letter and put it in my pocket.
You all right?"
You know it. You ready to head out?
"Yeah."
Into the depths? Hey, you keep your head on a swivel tonight. I can't lose anyone else right now.
"Don't worry. I always do."
And I give her a playful punch on the shoulder.
"All right, sap. I'll climb down first to make sure it looks safe. You go down second. That way, if your creaky bones give you any trouble, well, at least you're not falling on Cheap. Can't lose him."
Yep.
Chip.
Chip. Cover us from the top while we rappel down, and then we'll cover you from the bottom as you rappel down.
"By golly, you've got it. Chip."
Classic Chip.
God,
I love that man.
Hilda begins scaling down, you following shortly after as you go down into the depths. It is just beginning to be sunrise up top as the night has passed. But as you get lower, it becomes darker and darker as light doesn't actually get into the depths because of how deep it is. As you continue to rappel down into the darkness, you hear from below a loud whistle, giving you the all clear.
All right. Cover me, Chip Chip.
You scale down, Chip Chip's following after you. You reach the bottom as Hilda gives you a small magical supplement. You take it, which gives you dark vision for the next 3 hours. As your focus comes into vision, as you're able to see between the grays and blacks of this area, it is a desolate, abandoned area. There are people who are homeless walking around. Some of them seem as though they're crazed. Other ones seem as though they're down on their luck and have been their entire lives. A lot of the buildings have ruptured, old, moldy wood to them. There are... the rain, you know how it's always raining up top. Down below, it has created almost a trench. You know that actually trench foot is a common illness down here, as a lot of the soil can't get rid of the water fast enough, and so it puddles and pools.
I turn to Hilda and I say, hey, you and Vicky have been looking for a new place to move. You've been complaining about how expensive everything is, but you could find something cheap down here.
Yeah, can't wait. Probably could just take it. Nobody'd notice.
Yeah. Oh, the commute might suck, though. Getting into the station.
Yeah, well, I'd still make it faster than you, sleeping on all the time.
Hey, I'm up late. Don't need to get personal.
All right, well, I think it's this way. As Hilda is going to direct you, and you make your way. You notice that people are looking at you. It makes you uncomfortable as
I put up my collar.
Yeah.
Push my detective's hat a little bit lower.
You go and you kneel down a little ways away, hiding behind a corner as you look, and she points to this stone building that she points out, and she says, all right, that's where they stay. From what I understand, from what Marty told us, it's going to be pretty well guarded. And, I mean, so what do you think? Do we just go through the front door, or do we try to break in?
I think going through the front door would probably be a mistake. Here's what I'm thinking, Hilda. Chip. You get on the roof of that building across the street. You're our sniper cover.
Chip.
Hilda, you cause a ruckus at the front door. Meanwhile, I'm going to go in through the roof and see if I can get inside through the air ducts.
Dramatic Betty. I never liked this one.
You know it. And also, I suddenly realized Dramatic Betty was the move we were pulling when Trent got killed.
Yeah. There's a high success rate, but there's danger to it.
Yes, it's worked more often than not, but the one time it didn't work, my partner got killed, traumatizing me for the rest of my life.
All right. Well, let's see how this plan plays out. Are you going to wait for Hilda to make the sounds before you go and try to sneak around, or are you going to...
My logic, I want Hilda to go to the front and, be a police officer.
Okay.
And cause a whole ruckus that people, think that, the police are here.
Gotcha.
And then they come to the front to, stop her from getting in. And then I'm going to while they're all coming to the front, I'm going to sneak in through the roof. So I'll go onto the roof before she starts the distraction.
Okay.
But I won't go into the vents until the distraction starts.
Understood. All right. So Hilda is going to go up to the front. I'm going to have her roll charisma checks every once in a while to see how she's doing at distracting.
Cool.
Okay. So she goes up, you hear her going up to the front and knocking on the door and stuff and saying, police, open up. as you hear sounds from within and people opening the door.
See if I see people moving forward.
You do. You notice that there's a couple people who are sitting around a table playing a game of cards as they stand up. Who is that? Go check it out. As they start to move towards the front.
Good old Hilda, and I'm gonna move for the air vents.
All right, so we're gonna have you roll some stealth checks.
Perfect.
As what we're gonna do is, okay, yeah, all right. So if you roll below a 9 3 times, they will become aware of you. Same with Hilda when she does her checks. So every once in a while, I'll have you both roll, and if either of you gets below a 9, that's a mark against you. And if we get to 3 overall between the two of you rolling under a 9, then they're gonna start to become aware that something's going on.
Got it.
Cool. Awesome. As let's have you roll your first stealth. She succeeded on hers.
I kick in not loudly, but like I push in the vent cover, slide inside. That's a 17 plus 3, 20.
Yeah, you've done this before. As you push your way in, you're inside of the vent and you're able to start moving around. There are lots of cobwebs and like broken pieces of wood that you have to kind of move yourself between.
I flick on my lighter as I'm crawling through.
Yeah, luckily
Come on out to the depths, they said. It's gonna be nice, they said.
Luckily all of the wood is pretty like saturated with water, so you're not at risk of lighting anything on fire here. You keep moving through as you hear sort of an argument sort of starting to roil up in the front, as it sounds like Hilda's trying to convince them to let her inside. I'm going to have you both go ahead and roll again.
5 plus 3 is 8.
With an 8, you hear that the argument is like continuing to get more heated, but that is still drawing people towards her, and so far no one's become aware of you. Hilda succeeded. So
cool.
Where are you trying to get to now?
Now I'm going to get out of the air vents onto like the catwalks that are at the top of this warehouse, so that I can start to move across the warehouse into like where the offices are.
Ooh, cool. So there are a couple of people who are still like keeping their eyes out. So you see them as you're moving in the shadows, as you are going to try and run across these planks without them seeing you. As down below, you actually are able to see through because the second floor has rotted away to this place. And you're able to see Hilda standing at the front. I'm a police officer. If I say, and they're like, well, where's your warrant? Where's your warrant? She says, I don't need a warrant. I do not need a warrant. We are looking into a murder and we are going to find answers as this is rising in tension. I'm going to have you go ahead and roll your stealth.
That's a 10 plus 3, 13.
Oh, Hilda got a 7. As your foot creaks on this board, and one of the people turns as you huddle against it, and they like look, but it's pretty dark, and they probably are just hearing things as they look back and they go, "Damn rats, hate this place." And
I whisper to myself, I go, "I'm a pig, actually."
Beautiful.
Yeah,
it's true. All right, so you are able to continue to push your way forward. Where are you searching to go now?
I'm gonna head over to where the hallway to the offices are, which I guess like the kind of foreman's office, where like the offices like look down onto the factory floor or the warehouse floor.
Yep. Yeah. You're actually above it. It's the only thing still standing on the second floor. As you can see, you're able to get above it, and you can see that there's a ladder actually to go down into the foreman's office.
So I'm going to go down the ladder.
Are you going to check first?
Oh yeah, I'll look in first. Make sure.
There we go. All right.
Good idea.
Yeah. You look inside. I'm gonna have you roll an investigation check.
Ooh, I'm good at investigation. It's a 5 + 8, 13.
Is there any way that you can get that slightly higher?
Yeah, I can take out my flask, which actually is full of coffee, and I'm gonna slip it open, drink some coffee, and then I'm gonna use my feat caffeinated intelligence, which increases my intelligence score by 1 whenever I'm caffeinated, which is why I drank coffee earlier when investigating the scene, and so that gives me a +10 to my investigation instead.
Wow. Okay. I mean, yeah, with a +10, with a 20.
No, that's a 20. No,
No,
15.
so,
I got a 15 now.
No, you had plus, right? Oh, because you get just +10 in general. Okay, yeah. I get you. Okay, with a 15, that was the DC. So you look inside and you notice that there is someone just furiously writing away in one of the corners of this foreman's office.
Could I get out into the hallway outside of the foreman's office instead of going down into it?
You can, but it's like broken wood and stuff, so it's pretty treacherous there. You could, but you're just going to have to be pretty nimble with it. Because essentially it's like the foreman's office is there, and that was built in stone, but the rest of the floor of the second floor was all wood, and so that's broken all away. So there's just splinters of wood around this part of the room.
Okay. I'll go down to the foreman's office, being nice and sneaky.
Okay. All right. Because the person's in the
Crossbow
room,
drawn, of course.
It's going to be a little bit harder for your roll. So go ahead and roll. I'm going to also have Hilda roll.
17 + 3, 20.
With a 20, whatever person this is in the corner of the room doesn't notice you.
A lot of legs or not a lot of legs?
Not a lot of legs.
Okay.
But they don't notice you because Hilda has actually pushed her way inside. And with that, they all start to get very nervous as one of them pulls out a crossbow on her. She goes to reach for hers and they say, "Don't even think about it." Now, I don't know who told you that something was going on tonight, but you're not getting out of here. Now, put down the gun, as she lowers her crossbow, and they look at her and punch her in the face. Hilda, getting hit in the face hard, falls to the ground. She tries to get back up, but there's so many of them as they kick her, and they incapacitate her and then tie her up. The person is staring at this. What are you going to do?
I'm going to walk up behind them and press my crossbow into their side and say, "Don't do anything stupid. Let's just stay nice and quiet now."
Just like you. Always to think that I'm going to be the one to do something stupid. I'm going to need you to make an strength save. As something's going to sneak up behind you. So they are behind you, so they're going to get advantage.
6 + 3, 9.
Oh, wow. They actually rolled pretty poorly, but they did beat you as you feel...
Oh, no. Is it legs?
As you feel legs suddenly squeeze around your body. Your hand goes to fire, but an arm rips it up as the arrow flies up into the air and out of the room. As you are constricted, legs has you pinned in a grapple as before you, turning around, you see your son.
What the hell?
Hey, Dad.
You were dead.
I was hoping I'd see you. Dead. Yeah, I bet you wish I was. Well, nighty-night. As he pulls up a bit of dust and blows it into your face. Go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, God. Throwing my dice everywhere. That is a 12 plus 4, 16.
Even with a 16, you feel your face start to go numb as you drift. Your eyes
You weren't ever this cool.
fade and you black out. You wake up as a loud sound as you are moving along on an old-timey train. Old-timey train. It's a train. Whatever, man.
Dudes pumping on like an old pump car or whatever up front.
Yeah. As you wake up, you jolt awake, lights blaring in your face. Your body feels like it's unable to move. You see that Hilda is laying next to you, and that then you look up and you see your son and legs standing at the front of the cart, as this is the cart that will take people out of the depths.
Kimbo, that you? I'm talking to my son.
Oh, you're awake. Good. As he comes and kneels down in front of you. Here, drink some water. You look a little dehydrated.
I don't want any of your water. I just want answers, like why you aren't dead.
Yeah, you never really did want anything from me. As he takes and drinks back the water and throws it to the side. You were always so easy to convince. Well, you'll understand soon enough.
How did you get mixed up with the Wolf's clan?
Oh, Dad. I said you'll understand soon enough as he kicks down on your face, knocking you out.
I love that he's getting knocked out all the time.
Ring as you come back to.
What vehicle were we in this time?
You are in an old chalet vehicle as you're moving through the city. As he turns and he gives you a big grin.
Now look here, Sonny. You knock me out one more time, we're gonna have a problem.
Bam! He knocks you. Actually, legs gives you a kick, and your head actually whips against the glass of the window, shattering it as you go back as you pass back out. Bang!
And the vehicle this time?
We are actually no longer in a vehicle.
What?
We are on the outskirts of the city, otherwise known as Paradiso, the highest of high-class areas. You are in what is known as Bulkhead's Cathedral. It's a big grassy area, beautifully ornate marbled statues adorn the lawn, and there's a big stone gorgeous building that looms over it as you are tied up on the grass, and there are several people. It seems like two bands, as there is the group that you have come with, the Wolf's Clan, and the mayor of this town.
Huh. But
Emerald.
this is very important. But I do want to look at Kimbo and say, huh, weird. This is actually where I got married. Not to your mom, obviously, but...
Even now, with the stupid little jokes. Yeah, you always were better at hiding your pain than talking about it. Made you seem so cool when I was young. But then I figured you out. You're not cool. You're just a weasel. A little puppet that this town has made a mockery and a fool of. Somebody who thinks it's better to look away from the travesties happening at the lower depths, all to protect those within this high, structured paradise. But you're such a fool, Dad. You couldn't even recognize that it wasn't your son lying there.
And who was it?
I don't know. As... Oh, crap, what was her name?
Sarianne?
As Sarianne steps up from behind you. I found him lying, crying out for help in the depths, so I gave him help. I gave him a true purpose. I would say the resemblance is striking as she looks at her baby boy, but she says, but it's not. You were just always such a fool that you couldn't even recognize what was right before your own eyes.
And I don't have a witty retort to it. I just kind of look down in shame.
Well, at least now, when your world is going to be torn to shreds, you'll die with dignity. Oh, come now. Must I truly wait for all of this? Please, can we get to the point at hand? Do you have it? This is the mayor speaking.
And I look at Hilda and I say, I told you not to vote for that guy.
Yeah, but he was so hot.
Is he really hot?
Oh yeah, the mayor is like, the mayor has like strong, but like in like a ratty sort of way, chiseled features and stuff. He like looks dashing, almost like to a gross extent. You know, like those people where it's like you're clearly smug and terrible, but like, yeah, you were born hot.
Hilda, it's just not a good idea to base our entire democracy off of the hotness of the candidates.
Hey, I see that now.
Okay.
What are we going to do to get out of here?
Yeah, you're right. This isn't the time. Also, I've got a plan, and I'm going to use my feat called I have a nail file up my sleeve. And I'm going to jiggle it out and start to cut the ropes that are binding me.
Go ahead and make a... I'll have you do acrobatics. Yeah, I'll have you do acrobatics.
That's really a feat that this character has, by the way.
No, I got that.
He's just always got nail files up his sleeve.
Yeah. Well, twice per day.
Twice per day. Twice per long rest.
Twice for long rest, but yeah.
That is a nat 20.
Okay. As you start sawing through this faster than anybody's ever sawn through, you are such an expert at this that you just know exactly how to get yourself out of it. As you're doing this, you see your son Kimbo like usher over for as Legs brings over this staff in his hand.
Little hands, because he's got big legs, little hands.
Yeah, big staff though, little hands holding the staff. He's carrying it pretty protectively as he says, well, or Legs doesn't say this, Legs doesn't talk, but Kimbo says, well, a deal's a deal. I have this for you. In return, Mayor, you have to uphold your end of the bargain. Yes, and as he starts to speak, you break out of the rope.
I'm going to sort of shimmy over and hand the nail file. I keep pretending I'm still have my hand side to hand the nail file to Hilda.
All right, we're going to see how Hilda does. Hilda got a nat 20.
What the what? We are so good at cutting through bindings.
You were incredible at cutting through bindings.
That's not like the main thing the department trains us to do.
And you guys are ace students at it.
Yep. We actually train this. We actually teach the seminar.
Yeah. She starts cutting through it as well. You overhear the mayor say, yes, in fact, a deal is a deal. Oh, my constituents would be so upset, but it is for the greater good. As he pulls out a marble that has mist emanating from it, and he holds out and he says, well, shall we do on the count of 3? 1.
You really think you can trust him, Mayor?
What?
You brought these cheapskate, bottom dollar goons with you. You think that you stand a chance against Legs once he decides to turn on you? The second you hand that over, they're going to take back their staff, kill your goons, leave you bloodied on the side of the street to explain to your constituents what you did.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion.
That is a 12 plus 6, 18.
Interesting. You know, I thought the exact same thing. Unfortunately, you don't quite know what's going on, do you? Well,
I know that whatever it is isn't for the greater good.
that's where you're... Enough! Mayor, we have a deal. If you want this staff and the wish spell that it holds, you will hand over that orb. Dad, quit trying to get in the way. If you talk again, I will kill you. Legs. He reaches out and he takes the staff. On the count of 3, Mayor. 1, 2.
I sprint up across the yard and go to tackle and grab the staff from him.
Go ahead and roll a grapple check.
Six plus 6, 12.
You run, you charge at him as he turns and he says, "Damn you, Dad. I told you!" As he holds up the staff, wielding it in his hand, he is going to call out to the world, "I wish you never existed!" We're going to see whether or not the magic that is coursing through him works. I'm going to have you roll the dice to see. Now, if you roll a 5 or below, the spell doesn't work. If it does, it's about to get weird.
18.
You are sprinting towards him as time begins to slow. It's almost as though, and it's like you're watching an astronaut fall into a black hole. As like that, you get closer and closer, but as you get closer, time slows to the point where it feels like time is infinite. And you and your son stare at each other. And then it's as though it's like a rubber band and you are being pulled back. You're stepping backwards, faster. You're laying on the ground tied up. You're back inside of the chalet, your head coming back as the glass in the window comes back clean and full. You are in the train, the time of this train going backwards. You're in the depths. You're climbing your way out of the depths. You're back looking at who you thought was your dead son. And this time, it's as though you can recognize that it's not them, even though that hasn't happened yet. Time before this moment hasn't happened yet. As you continue to lurch back through time, you're in your detective program. You're learning how to cut out of their ties behind your back. You're meeting Hilda for the first time. You're back in the depths looking at Trent as Trent is bleeding out. Blood starts to cough out, but then cough back into his mouth as he comes back full and alive. Trent, who you've just met. You had just met each other in training program, and now you see yourself as a young boy with aspirations to become a detective so that you can be what your father never was, a decent, good person. And then you find yourself a small baby. And then you find yourself not existing at all. You never existed. You never will exist. And that is where we will end today's session.
Existential. Wow. 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 There were two options for how that was going to end, and it was either a very happy ending if I got the staff, or a very bleak ending if I didn't get the staff.
Yeah, we got the one that audiences watched, and we're like, let's not do that. Let's go with the happy ending.
If I got the staff, I was gonna wish that I had been a good dad.
Wow. What a different story that would have been.
Yeah, everything would have been completely different. But you know what? Choices happen.
That's not how the dice rolled, dude.
Not how the dice roll, dude. And life is nothing but a bunch of dice rolls.
That's right.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's epic adventure.
Michael, thank you.
Thank me?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You got it.
You were a good dungeon master.
Yeah, I just, I think it's important for us to, I think at the end of every session, the DM and the player should thank each other for doing something that we didn't have to do. We didn't have to show up here. Right. We didn't have to take part, but we did. No one can see that we shook hands. They can just see our outstretched bodies. Guys, thank you so much for watching, for going on that existential journey with us. We appreciate it so very much, and we really hope that your children don't wish you out of existence. We sure do, but be careful because it can happen. Mm-hmm. That's a warning for everyone. Guys, we'll see you in our next adventure. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment down below, and we'll see you next time. See ya.